Hey everybody, welcome back. Sounds loud. We are getting ready to watch some Good Witch. Pretty's been waiting all day to be held. It's cuddle time. I'm tired, I'm hurting, but we're going to watch some Good Witch. We are on season 7, episode 7? Yes, episode 7, and it's called The Magic. Again, it's been a little while since I've watched it. We still got the mystery going on of what the whole symbolism of the tree is. We've had some wishes made. We don't know what George's connection is to everything. So that's kind of where we're at. Oh, Joy has got something going on. Something to do with her dream board?
Sunscreen?
Yeah, SPF 100. That's some serious
I'm
protection.
bad about not wearing sunscreen.
Then you think saying no was the right decision?
I wouldn't say that.
So you think it was the wrong decision?
I wouldn't say that either.
Well, you're not saying a lot of anything.
Not going to give her an answer.
Sit on the couch. I'll get you a nice pack. That doesn't look like sitting.
I was going to say Abigail helped run the
nice pack.
town for a while.
Please, on our 20th anniversary, you're going to ask me what my sign is.
You're a Leo.
I'm a Taurus.
Where's the shots?
Let's get in there. Start meeting and greeting.
We should probably talk first.
Can we talk after?
Uh-oh.
I don't want to keep everyone waiting any longer.
Nobody's in there.
We should go home or you should go home?
Now, what makes you think you're welcome?
She's always welcome.
Trust me. Is Flora's family or friend?
Yes. And now I know more about Zoe than I do about Donovan.
You can't compare
Send you with the
relationships.
fun facts.
By George, you're a regular Middleton encyclopedia.
I've been called worse.
But have you ever...
Oh, is she going to have him run?
How about I explain over lunch?
She may have found her man.
Why wouldn't I do that?
Joe, you gotta slow down.
Actually, I made it through Namibia unscathed.
Didn't he try to tell her to slow down once
Just
before?
because I tripped at the airport in New York.
Was it last season?
Did you see any white rhinos?
An
The
entire
season
herd.
before?
She has to deal with this in her own way.
She has to deal with this, period.
I'm stubborn. I get Joe.
My team did the research, and there is.
Plenty of room in this town for the both of us?
I think so.
I think we'll find out.
What is it that they can do that Abigail's not doing?
I think that's great.
You do?
You don't?
I feel like I'm betraying Avery.
Mixed emotions.
I get it.
Bittersweet.
Yellow roses traditionally mean friendship.
Convince
I've always
yourself that if
liked
she's just a
yellow
friend,
roses better
you
than
won't
red
feel
or
guilty.
pink roses.
You don't think I'll do it?
Well, it sounds like you don't think you'll do it.
I'll admit, I tend to take the safe
I've never
route.
been on a motorcycle.
What's your
That's a
name?
big cape for
Sam.
a little boy, so that must be
Sam.
Grandpa's cape.
1, 2, 3.
Pretend you didn't see that.
I wish I could.
She ripped the
That
cape.
didn't sound good.
Oh, it doesn't look so good.
What's wrong with my look?
You don't really have one.
Why are you going to ask
For
him to
example,
take the
I always
job
have a
and then
bag
try to
over my
change
arm
everything
and a
about him?
brooch. The end of an era. The changing of the guard. The coup de grace.
She's having problems letting go. Doing some card artistry. Are they using a double? Because they zero in on his
She
hand
tell you about the lemon twist.
every time they
Yeah,
do
I'm
the
curious.
trick,
That was Grandpa's signature trick. He would borrow a
not
ring,
necessarily
make
showing
it
him doing
vanish.
I guess I'm a little distracted.
In my day, we called it smitten.
it. Is it the red blanket that's cueing her?
Oh, thank you.
Or something else
I'll
that's
let you get
cueing?
back to it.
He gets the red blanket.
And I said I hated magic.
You also said you would never do another magic trick again. I thought it would be good for you, but I never forced you.
Just a comment on the conversation that Joe and Sam are having. Joe is having a hard time accepting what she should do in order to get better faster and take care of herself and all that kind of stuff. But she's also pointing out to Sam, quit pushing so hard. um, so it's this tug of war that we end up having. And sometimes when people are pushing us, we tend to buck back a lot faster, a lot harder. So it's hard sometimes to let go of things. And I think that's part of what this episode's about. Because Martha was having a hard time letting go of being mayor. And is it Chloe? I can't remember her name now. Is having a hard time letting go of her past, even though the future feels good so far. Sam's having a hard time letting go of his past. So, a lot of needing to let go. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's very
Okay, I'm ready.
Abigail-ish. There's big puffs on her shoulder.
You do realize when you tell someone to relax, they do the exact opposite.
You know, that's true. My tattoo
Having a
artist
hard
told me to
time letting
relax.
go.
And consider that parking ticket pardoned.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Another parking ticket?
This one was much easier to get out of.
Martha's having a hard time letting go.
This belongs to you, Grandmama Mayor.
She didn't have to let go.
Oh, the opera may have given Edward peace. Well, you gave him hope. There are a lot of other patients who need that.
I remember, I don't know how to phrase it. So the first client that I had that died, I remember who that was. And the reason why I phrased it that way is because I was no longer working in that office. I was working in a whole nother county with another company and all that kind of stuff. So he was really no longer my client. But one of my friends who was still working at that office called me to let me know it was about a month later after I had left that he had died. And it's hard, even intellectually, when you know things aren't your fault and not necessarily the client's fault. It's just one of those things that's just hard to deal with sometimes and not sit there and think, well, what could I have done more? Or is there anything else that could have been done? Or any of that kind of stuff. It doesn't even have to be a client, it can be a friend or a family member or just someone who you'd run into recently or something like that. So we tend to get those questions, but especially when it's somebody that's been in our care, it's hard to deal with sometimes. This fella was dealing with alcoholism, and he was drinking it like it was going to go out of style. So I was constantly having to bring the breathalyzer out to test him. He was constantly coming up positive to the point of we'd be doing check-in and he'd go, well, go get that little machine. And I can't remember the number anymore. It's something like he blew a .12 or something. And, or no, it was higher than that. It was like a .3 something. And I asked him how much he had drank, and he said he didn't drink much. And I said, well, you must have bathed in it then, for as high as he was coming up on the breathalyzer. But he actually died from his alcoholism. He had been in the hospital multiple times for pancreatitis, and even while in treatment with me, he had ended up in the hospital for pancreatitis, and the doctor had told him if he drinks one more time, he's going to end up dying. Well, he had more drinking that he did, and that's what ended up killing him in the end, was that disease telling him that he needed to have another drink. So it's hard sometimes. So I can relate. This whole story is to say that I can relate to how she's feeling and the thoughts that you might have and all that kind of stuff.
This is my second wedding I booked today that's canceled.
Third.
Strike 3.
You know that flower war you didn't want? Well,
You've
just
got it. So he's
This
lowballing.
What's your name?
Cassie,
Where are you from, Cassie?
right here.
Well, right here is where you are about to witness the amazing, the classic lemon twist.
Does that
What
mean
bar
he's
are
not
you
going to
in?
be able to do
I
it?
want to take this lemon. How would your husband feel if this ring disappeared?
It again didn't
Just
show his
depends on
face.
what happens next.
Well, I'm going to ask you to grab that
They're
lemon and toss it to
using
me.
a magic double.
Wow.
Clean it off now. Get all that lemon juice off of it.
I guess when they ran off, she took the amulet with her.
And I guess we're no worse off than we were before.
Or is it hidden within the chest?
Ooh. Get married on a boat. Good thing we broke up because I get seasick. Maybe you should think about focusing on the goals you have now.
Maybe you should too.
Advice to each other?
Is lasagna your favorite? I had no idea. This being our first date and all. I'll get a second date. It's getting to know each other. You're a planner. Since when?
Since I bought a wedding dress. I
Uh-oh.
don't think I'm moving too fast.
Every man's first date nightmare. Hey,
He's
whoa,
not
I'm
supposed to look at it.
see that.
Or what? Will we curse?
And I love you.
Who says I love you on the first date?
Is Klondike going to officiate the wedding?
How did you get the ring and the lemon?
A magician never reveals his trick.
Hope brings us peace and understanding.
Now, have they moved the
And our
church
community
already?
can't thrive
Or do they
without it.
still have to move the church?
see it-
How long will it take you to say thank you?
Oh, well, not as long as it took you.
Asshole number one
Not
used to give
actually
me yellow
climb, but
roses all the
go for
time because I liked yellow roses better. Does that complete her dream board? No kiss? Where's the kiss?
Beware the zenith of the red haloed moon.
That's a bit ominous. And I wonder how they're seeing through that board with that board being so thick. So, we didn't really get a lot of answers or anything with that one. I don't think we moved forward much, but the episode was mostly about letting go, being flexible, adjusting, that kind of stuff. So, or at least that's what I got out of it. I'll put it that way. And doing things your own way rather than how people expect things of you. I think that's it. I think that's all I got out of that one. So, thank you all for joining me on this one, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.